How do?
All right, mate, sir.
So, something a bit different today. I've got Martin here. We had, a minute phone call today?
We did.
An email and some text messages. We've had a little chat in the house. He made me a brew. The 20 questions for those that are new to the channel are to introduce someone. Yeah. Like I say, we're going to take us time with these today. We're going to do it in a sympathetic manner. I'll tell you for why. So Martin, who's contacted me, is still using.
Yeah.
Coke.
And alcohol.
Pretty much daily. I will tell you now, the lad has a proper grasp of where he is. He understands his addiction, you know, and the thing is with a lot of people like Martin, he has skills. He has a trade. He could be out working or whatever, but I think it's fair to say you're gripped. Are you not?
I am, yeah.
You're 18 months been at it from a detox.
From no, I'd not come from a detox. It was I relapsed in 2 days before my birthday last year in February, 25th of February last year.
Right.
And since then, I've not really been able to stop again.
Bad anxiety.
Terrible.
He recognises that. 1 cup of coffee a day. He was obviously nervous about doing this. Hopefully, you're feeling all right now, a bit more at ease.
A little bit, yeah.
We're going to go steady Eddie with this, guys. And first question, Martin, why are we doing this?
I believe that my story could help a lot of people, especially parents, to sort of identify behaviours within their children that can potentially lead to addictions in the future.
Ultimately, you'd like to go into schools maybe or something similar.
Yeah. I believe that if I could do a talk in it like an assembly or something like that, and prevent one child say you prevent one child going down the same path, that has a profound effect on you're saving the child, you're saving 2 parents, 4 grandparents, brothers, sisters, potential partners, their children in the future. So just by saving one child from going down the same path,
yeah,
the knock-on effect, you sort of like saving 20 people from having to suffer like the horrors of addiction.
I'm going to answer the next question myself. Yeah, childhood, normal childhood, up until a point that we don't need to discuss. I'm basically, you got 12, 13, is that right? Multiple layered traumas, fast and furious, you know, not 1, 2, 3 incidents, multiple. Like in a lot of cases, probably nobody recognised that you might be having difficulty at that time.
Yeah, I was sort of a lively kid, and like I was like a Jack the Lad, and it was like, oh, nothing bothers me, I'm not arsed, but I was, but I couldn't speak to my mates about it. I couldn't really speak to my parents about it. Sort of held it all in, and I was inside. I was running on fear constantly, like living on fear. What's going to happen next? It all just came out of the blue, and I didn't realise how much it was affecting me.
Well, you're not going to as a kid, are you?
No.
But obviously, on reflection now
I realise that like it's important for anyone that's going through anything, especially in the teenage years, especially to speak to somebody, you know, like no matter how little it is, if it's bothering you, then I think it's important that you get it off your chest and speak to someone you can trust.
While you're still a child.
Yeah. Because
that's the problem in it now. As kids, you know, we don't recognise something or don't help them or whatever. Once they get into the teenage years, later teenage years, then it can be problematic.
That's it.
Like it became problematic for you, but also, like you've already said, it affected all your family.
Massively.
Music.
I love it.
What would your be choice? Or
Well, I play guitar and sing, so it's mainly indie rock what I'm into.
oh yeah,
Yeah, more like Arctic Monkeys. You're from Sheffield, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah, Milburn.
Sheffield
Yeah,
had well.
That's sort of my,
cracking music
yeah.
scene.
That's my Arctic Monkeys. Milburn's like mainly my style. Yeah.
So, what would your ideal weekend be?
Right in a minute, one without drugs and drink.
No, that's a fair answer, mate.
Yeah. Just to be happy and settled, mate. Settled inside without the anxiety, without the constant feeling of fear and running on fear. What's going to happen next? They're like, how am I going to pay this bill? Am I going to be able to meet that appointment, or am I going to do something stupid that's going to just? Am I going to overdrink and not make it there? Am I good? You know, I can't trust myself.
So you got the same problems as me. I worry about bills, pay my bills and everything. However, with the addiction, the anxiety and everything else, then probably makes it 10 times worse. In fact, it's probably can't quantify it.
It's not easy.
If you could go back to a point in your life, where would that be? Maybe, you know.
Probably to the day I first took cocaine.
Really?
When I had the strength to say no.
How old were you at that point?
I think it was about between 17 and 18, possibly. Like I was quite late taking drugs compared to a lot of my mates and things like that. People were taking them a lot before me. But it's like the minute I tried it that first time, it just all the shit that I'd been feeling for like a long time, just sort of took that anxiety out of me, took everything out of me, and it was like I'd arrived. You know. So
was that in the sort of the 90s?
No, that would have been 2002.
All right,
yeah.
So just after the millennium.
Yeah. I was drinking. To be fair, I was drinking on the streets and that a lot before that, from the age of 11, 12. But I think I took an E for the first time when I was about 16. I was taking them irregularly, just on club nights and that. I was enjoying it at that time, to be fair. And then it was when I took coke that things started to change. You know, that got a grip on me.
What was it? Was it peer pressure? Was it something you wanted to try? Were you at a party and it was just?
I came home to my house and my mate was staying with me at the time, and he'd had a few mates round and whatnot, and it was there. And when people realised it was my flat, it was just like, yeah, do you want one of these and that. And I felt a little bit intimidated, to be honest. But the circles are mixed in and that. It was always going to happen, you know. Like sooner or later, it was gonna come to the point where I was gonna be around it, and I would have took it, you know.
Has that led to difficulty with relationships?
Yeah, 100%. It's I've had two children to two different women. I've destroyed both of them, you know, through my addiction. The suffering they had to go through, like being with an active addict, it's not something I wish upon my worst enemy, to be honest with you. My behaviour changes. I'm arrogant. I can be aggressive. Spending money what should have gone on bills or whatever, disappearing, turning my phone off. You know, it's not. It can't be easy for the one you're leaving behind with a child. You know, and ultimately, it's resulted in me like virtually living an isolated life now. I live on my own. I don't see many people. I drink and use on my own most days.
So, rehab or detox, your first one.
Yeah.
You know, when was it and why did you?
So I went to rehab for the first time in, I think it was March 2018. I found out I had a daughter that was due to be born in the December. Oh no, sorry, my daughter had just been born in December 2017. But before she was born, I was trying off my own back to stop, and I could never get more than a few days or a week. And I was thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't, for all the love in my heart for my daughter, and why can't I do it? And then this one night, I'd been to the pub, and I'd come home, and obviously my missus at the time wasn't too happy, and I sort of broke down on my hands and knees in the conservatory, crying my eyes out, saying, I'm never doing it again, I've had enough, that's it, I'm done. And I woke up the next morning, got in my van, was driving to work. I can remember it clear as day. I was driving past where Boothall Hospital is in Manchester. And it's like a windy hill. And all the way down the hill, I was sort of like squeezing the steering wheel all the way to the bottom, going, why am I doing this? I'm never doing it again. I've got a beautiful baby there. I've got a family. What? And then when I got to the bottom of the hill, I thought it was coming me head. He lives over there. He's got some good sniff. And then everything I'd said to the bottom of the hill had just completely gone out of my mind. And I just, when I was supposed to go right to work, I went left and picked up sniff. And that's when I realised, sort of like, I'm not in control of this. I'm sort of a passenger in my own life. It's like, no matter what I want to do, it's like I'm in the passenger seat and I'm like, yeah, where are we going today, Martin? And someone else is driving it. And then my partner at the time, she had a friend that she'd grown up with that actually owned a treatment centre.
Yep.
So basically, she said to me, would you be interested in going to rehab? I think she'd already been speaking to this lady behind, without my knowledge. But so the lady said, so don't try and stick it on him about going to rehab or anything. Wait until he's like desperate and he asks. So she sort of just drops it in, and straight away I just said, yeah, I'll go. But my concepts of what rehab was going to be like was nothing like what it actually was.
I had a concept of what rehab was like. Billy Moore asked me to read his book. Yeah. Obviously he's got an addiction problem. After reading his book, which, you know, it opened my mind, but how depressing. Because what I thought it was and what it is, you know, he did, if you like, a normal type rehab, and he did one that someone paid for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The normal one, when he got in there, people were offering him drugs and asking what he bought in straight away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that cost a lot of money was full of people who could afford to be there, who, you know, like he said, somebody getting him up at 4 o'clock in the morning for a green tea and yoga wasn't what he needed.
Rehab's not for everyone. It's very, very difficult. I mean, as when we do the life story, I'll be talking. I've been in hospital for 12 weeks at one point. I've been in prison. I've been to hostels. Been out street homeless. I've been through it. All 99% of it down to addiction. But my concept of rehab before I went there was that they sort of plug you into a machine, and it's like an hospital ward, a bed, and they just flush your system out, and then after a period of time they just go, right, go on, off you go, and you never use again. Whereas it's absolutely nothing like that. They don't even speak about drugs when you go to rehab.
So the expectations here and the reality.
Yeah, but it's all about behaviour. It's all about the behaviours and the childhood trauma that has led to it. They say that the addiction, whether it be coke, sex, gambling, whatever it is, they say you're just using an external means to solve an internal problem. They say that's a symptom of the illness.
Or listen, you tell me, mate. Again, somebody told me in the simplest terms, taking any form of drug, you know, it don't get rid of the memories. All it does is it takes away the emotion.
Yeah, it just gives you internal ease, like instant ease. That's it, and it's temporary. Like if you say, people always relate it to drugs with addiction, but if you look at someone who's got a sex addiction or a gambling addiction, they're not putting any substance in the body. So what makes them keep taking that ultimate risk, where they're putting the housing at risk and the children's house at risk by putting the money in a fruit machine? Or what makes a man or a woman go and have sex with someone, feel shit about themselves for doing it and feeling dirty, and then after they feel dirty, they need to feel good again, so they go and do it again, and they're repeating this cycle of negative behaviours. And the thing is, that's the thing that they fixed on, the external means that's giving them like temporary ease inside.
We briefly spoke about your dad. He,
the Messiah, I call him.
Messiah. He possibly would like to contribute if it helps anyone. And what I've said to you is, if he's up for that, I'd maybe like to chat to him in the studio, as it were.
Yeah.
And then chat to you both together.
Yeah.
Do you know what, mate? It's definitely going to help people. Some of the things we've already discussed about, and we've only been talking 15 minutes, is, you know, opening my mind. So we'll leave it there, the questions, and then we'll get into your story.
Right.
Martin, full story coming soon. Thanks for coming. What do you say up here? I'll sit there.
No.